Welcome to Living the Dream Iowa Life. I'm your host, Hannah Nuss, and each weekday we'll share enthusiasm for what's possible and dive into the stories of Iowans living their dream lives right here in the heartland. Whether you're chasing a big goal or just looking for a little inspiration, we've got you covered. Let's change the world together. This is Living the Dream Iowa Life. Let's go. Heyo, welcome to Living the Dream Iowa Life podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Nuss, and it is great to be here as always. And I feel so great because I am loving and respecting myself and the needs that I have and the things that I need to get done for myself. And I guess maybe the question today is self-love respect? Is self-love respect? And I think, respect just covers so much more. Self-love seems to feel like I just overheard a conversation the other day. It's like, who has time for that much pampering and self-care? Who has 2 hours? And I'm like, oh man, if we don't even have 2 hours, oh no. And so I say respect because I think it's so much more inclusive of what really loving yourself looks like. And I did not respect my boundaries. I did not respect that I needed specific things, that I needed to shower, that I needed to run, that I needed to do yoga every day. I did not respect any of the things that I needed to do to thrive. And I would throw those things away instantly. Ooh, today got rough. Oof, kiddo is sick. I'm tired. I didn't sleep last night. Oof, can't do the things. And I have gotten to this place where there is a respect for the kind of love that I am giving to myself. And today I had this list of, all right, I'm going to book 3 of my book tour stops. I'm going to book 3. And it's getting to be about 4 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to do that tomorrow. Nobody's going to be in. Nobody's going to be in. And I said to myself, no, it's on your list today. So you better check your phone, check your messages, and find someone that you can reach out to because you have 3 locations that you are supposed to contact today. This is non-negotiable. This is how you love yourself. This is how you respect yourself. This is what you said you were going to do, and you're going to do it. Period. Done. And then I get distracted. Oh, I'm going to make the poster because they're probably going to ask me for that. And I do all the things that I need to do before so that I can get to the 4 or 5 o'clock where I can't get a hold of anybody and have that hard conversation where they might say, you're a loser and we don't want to talk to you. No, you can't do your book talk here, you weirdo. We know you're just calling in. You probably wrote some mumbo jumbo terrible story that no one wants to read. Please don't call here again. And I don't want to hear that, but that is a part of putting yourself out there. And do I love and respect my work and myself enough to do that? And I do. And I do love and respect my work enough to have that conversation, to carry through the things that I wrote on my list for today. I'm done. I'm checking my 10 things off. And so I did. I booked 2 events actually, and I have 3 calls that I made that were working on nailing down a date, but that were already yeses. And so it's a respect thing at this point. Like, I respect myself enough to say that I deserve self-love more than facials and massages once a month. Like, actual self-love is a deep respect for yourself and the things that you want to do. It's a discipline. Self-love is discipline. And the same thing happened this morning. I got 0.0 hours of sleep, maybe minutes of sleep the night before. Sick kid. And usually on those days, I would be like, okay, it's Thursday. I had a sick kid. It's okay. You can let yourself go. This is not that big a deal. You can start fresh on Monday. House will be clean on Monday. You got to work the next 2 mornings. It's okay to just put this one down. You got no sleep. Kiddo's still here, still wanting to cuddle. Just give up. You didn't quite hit your deadlines, your timelines that you needed to be in. Just give up. Give yourself another day. Give yourself the weekend. Take it easy. You don't have to be that hard on yourself. You're okay, girl. No, I am doing it. I am doing it. I am going on the run. I am doing yoga, even if it's just for 10 minutes. I am doing it. I am going to get my podcast in, even if it's 25 minutes instead of 30. I am doing it. I am making these things happen for myself. This is what I want to do. This is what I love, and I am making it happen. And the timelines and the amount of time that I can spend on those things may change, but I am disciplined enough to be able to check that box, period. I am checking that box. And my 5 and 5 planner is set up perfectly because I made it for myself in my own brain. But I love that hit. And I tell my kids this all the time as we're working through how to plan your day and how to write out your day. And they will say things that are along the lines of, I don't, why do I have to write that down? And I explain how the brain works, and they certainly don't care about what I'm explaining or why I'm explaining it. And I still make them write it down because dopamine and the way that our brain works and how we like to see things done. And it's like a little confetti cannon going off every time that we check a box. Our brains are just wired to celebrate and love ourselves. And oh, I got something done. And so every time that we're not putting something down on that list, we are dismissing this little self-love party that was going to go on in our brain when we check that box and said, I got that done. I'm the best. Yes, 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 yes. And so my 5 and 5 planner has space for all the mindless things that I do in a day. That I am just automatically doing that I never give myself credit for. Space for that. Yes, yes, please. It has space for kind of the extra things that I'm going to do at the end of my day. It has space for 5 things that are going to take an hour or more. It has space for 5 things that are going to take under a half an hour, just quick. Maybe I send an email, maybe I text someone. We're not giving ourselves credit for that, but we are doing a bazillion things a day. And unless we are checking some sort of box, we don't get to have that self-love moment. And so I love having my planner to do that. I love now instructing my kids how to plan their own days. They will have 5 and 5 planners very soon as I get them printed and back from the printers. And I love how our brains work in that way. We're so easy to trick. Oh, I just sent a text message. No big deal. No, I checked in on a project. Check. Big deal. I said happy birthday to a friend. Check. Big deal. Whatever is a big deal in your day, there's space for all of it there. I love the 5 and 5 planner, by the way. It has been a labor of love over time. The first launch of it, I actually sold a lot of people on it. I have this 5 and 5 planner. This is how I manage my day. I have ADHD, so my list is never ending. I'm also an entrepreneur, so that list grows even more and is relentless. And I was getting super overwhelmed and never accomplishing anything, and I never knew when my days were done. Ever. I would kind of get done and be like, well, I didn't check anything off of that bigger list, but I checked a lot of little things off, and I never had any way of celebrating myself. I was doing so much, but never congratulating myself for it. And when you're working for yourself, that's tough. You're a tough boss. Like, hey, are we ever going to recognize that we're actually getting a lot done? No, that's not a part of. And so I developed just the very rudimentary 5 and 5 planner. It had no instructions on it. People definitely asked for refunds on Amazon, but it was the start of something really magical, to the tool that I have now that I use every day to manage myself, my accomplishments, the things that I am getting done in a day. And when I started using that planner, that was when the meter started moving. That was when the book got written. That was when the second book got written. That was when the business actually launched. That was when the nonprofit actually launched. That was when I could manage my family, my life, my home, my business, and feel like I had all the balls in the air because I was touching them enough, which is a weird, why did I say it that way? I was touching the balls enough. I, I was juggling them. And so every time that I juggled them, the balls, okay, whatever. I was checking things off of my list for the first time since I ventured into entrepreneurship, and it snowballed. I got so much done. It was incredible. And so many less things were falling off of my plate. Because I was getting them done. Things weren't just falling off because I had abandoned them and I forgot to do them. Things were in this planner and getting checked off every day. And I knew by the end of the day there was no overwhelming anxiety because that big list on my wall wasn't getting accomplished. I was doing the dang things every day, just little 5 little things, 5 big things, and that moved mountains. Working in a systemized way moved mountains for me. And so that's part of the discipline. That's part of the practice. That's part of how all of this works. And I had been just giving myself a lot of room. It's okay. You're busy. You just started this thing. You're do. You probably can't handle that. You're do. No more. I love myself, this work, everything that I have gotten to do here, my family. I love all of us way too much to continue giving myself a break. And this is actual self-love, because I know the things, the plans, the visions, all of the things that I want to bring to life. I know what those things are, and I know the amount of work that has to go into those things. And when I give myself a break, when I say, oh, you're okay. Oh, you didn't get sleep in your nice, warm, climate controlled home where you had a full meal and you have many options for breakfast tomorrow morning, in your quest to become an author, which you got to leave your full-time job to do, in your nice, easy, beautiful life where you have 2 children that are highly functioning and skilled, in your life where your husband loves and respects you, in your life. Oh, you didn't get sleep last night. Oh, you poor, poor thing. Oh, in your life where you have dependable vehicles that could take you anywhere where you need to go, in your life where you got to create this gift shop and invest into this dream business of yours, in your tough life where you have a comfortable, clean bed with, laundry that has been done, in your life where you have heat and water and heated water even. Yeah, gosh, you didn't get sleep last night? You poor thing. Gosh, I feel terrible for you. Your life is just terrible. I don't know how you could get anything done not sleeping comfortably in your bed. Wow, it must be rough. You poor thing. How do you? No, not you poor thing. You have everything going your way. And you, and I'm talking to myself, but you can listen in on our conversation here in my head. You have everything going for you. You have a supportive husband. You have supportive children who are amazing. You have a supportive family. You have 2 supportive families. You have this beautiful life of support and love. You have an amazing community who would do anything for you, who literally kept your business alive over the last year. You have everything. And every chance that you get, you're bailing. Oh, I didn't sleep well last night. Oh, I read for an extra half an hour this morning. I guess I can't do anything at all now. We're off the timeline. Restart on Monday. So cute. Yeah, we could just start again on Monday. And this is a huge problem in entrepreneurship because you can. Okay, you can. You can start over on Monday a bazillion times. Nobody is waving you down. Hey, that actually was due on Monday, so you can't restart on Monday. Nobody cares. Nobody knows. Nobody knows that you had a timeline for yourself. Nobody knows that you were holding yourself accountable to something and then you slipped up and you gave yourself more leeway than you deserved. No one knows. No one knows. And no one knows that the book was supposed to be done, and no one cares that it was supposed to be done on that date, but then it didn't get done. No one does. I mean, you might have the occasional customer that's paying attention, but for the most part, no one cares. No one knows. Everyone understands. They get it. This is hard to do. There's no reason to panic. They're still going to be there. Your money's good here. They're going to invest in you anyways. And you just keep putting that deadline off because your life is so tough. Because you couldn't stay on your laundry schedule, you ended up doing laundry in your home on Thursday instead of Wednesday. So now the whole week is disrupted. Oh my gosh, I was tired this morning. So when I went to work, I got a coffee. Oh, what? I got a free coffee when I work at the coffee shop. And oh, yeah, well, that's not how you want to eat. That's not the kind of stuff that you want to be putting in your body. Blah! Throw your hands up. Guess we're eating out all weekend until Monday. Cause we got a little bit sideways. You had actually had a caramel apple latte, which apple caramel coffee, kind of the bee's knees, okay? Especially when you don't add silly things like cinnamon. It should always be caramel. It should. Don't bring that mess over here. And today they actually had apple butter caramel syrup, which I don't know that there has been a more delicious and wonderful invention of a flavor ever in the history of all flavors. Okay, so guess what? I did not throw away the rest of my day. I said, okay, today I worked and I got a coffee when I worked. And it was delicious and it was wonderful. And it did not ruin my entire life of what I was going to do and how productive I was going to be because I had a coffee. No, I had a coffee. It was really wonderful. I thought it was a lovely experience. Here I am. It was even more wonderful because that flavor combination. What? Try me for a good time. Okay. Call me. Yeah, I'll be there and I'll probably have it again tomorrow. And oh Oh, poor Hannah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you had a rough night where you didn't sleep and so you couldn't do your workouts and you couldn't do yoga and you certainly couldn't do your podcast and now you're so tired coming into your job that you got to drive your nice car to a job that you don't have to actually have. You just get to do cuz you enjoy it and it's fun to connect with your community. You just pick up a couple of shifts a couple times a week, man. Yeah, but you couldn't get everything done that you wanted to get done because you had to come and work at your very optional, cushy job. Oh my gosh, I totally understand how rough. But how often are we doing that? Right? Analyze. Okay? First world problems. I am letting myself off the hook. I'm saying, oh, I really wanted to accomplish that today, but instead I just didn't because I should really start on Monday. That would make more sense. No, today. Today, I'm starting today because if I analyze the actual problems in my life, the fact that I got 0 hours of sleep last night is pretty small compared to the rest of the world. And not that my minor inconveniences are not painful, because they certainly are. That was painful. Just that I can overcome those very simple problems. I can overcome them. I can choose to do my things anyways. And so I did. This morning I did. And then again this afternoon, I did. And I called the people. And when I didn't have people to call because I was certain they would be closed, I texted and I messaged and I found people who could give me opportunities. And some of them kind of had this moment of, you're a crazy book lady with a big old bag of books, and we don't want what you're serving us. And I had to say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for listening to me, for talking to me about it. I appreciate the time. I appreciate you listening. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. Haul my bag o' books to the next call or text that I'm going to make to set something up, because this is happening. And no, not everybody's going to vibe and jive with this idea that we are taking our lives back and we are doing something about it. And yeah, some super scholarly places like libraries or college campuses would probably say this is not an intelligent, this is not, oh, let me get my pipe. How do we hold pipes? I can't remember. Oh, they hold them like this. Yeah. And they twirl, they wouldn't twirl with his hand, they twirl their mustaches. Oh, is that Hannah Nuss on the phone there? Please tell her that we will not be taking her book. It is unintelligent garble. We do not read such garbage. It's a terribly written book. It's just based on her life, and she is barely even an author. Pathetic. This is not scholarly at all. Please dismiss her and never have her call these institutions again. Books should be written on facts, not lived experience based on a garbly gook life. That is certainly not what they would say, by the way. Based on life experience, people should not be out in the public just talking about things that they know based on experiences that they have had. This cannot connect to anyone. This is the least bit scholarly. Please dismiss her and tell her not to write another word. He like blows 3 smoke rings like the Chester cat. Ooh. He got me. And I would say, you know what? Actually, my book has connected to a lot of people. And I would say mostly athletes who have had a traumatic dismissal of their athletic experience. but also people who are at an impact point in their life where they have to kind of dream again, or maybe almost like a midlife crisis. I'm having a lot of connection with people who are in that experience. And I I will continue writing. Thank you. And I do write from my own experience. Because if I tried to write a scholarly psychology type self help book, it would be super weird. It really would be. I enjoy storytelling. And if that's not good enough or not the right fit for your institution, that is okay. I will find the places that it is right for. And I will find the people that these words mean something to. And I appreciate you taking my call and giving me all the reasons that I'm not good enough yet, because I'm not. But I will get better as a writer. I will. And I will connect with people. I will. And I already have. And this book is making a difference, but it is not making the difference that it could be when I am just staunchly sitting on it and going, I don't really have time to do the whole book thing. I know I wrote a book. It's just, yeah, but I also launched a business at the same time. And this is sort of the hard, complex thing about where I was at in life at that point. I was finally at this place where I was loving myself enough by holding myself accountable to accomplish things by using my planner. I know, plug the planner. Okay. I was finally at a place where I had enough power, but I also had this spinning world of love. I loved myself enough to put my book out to the world. I loved myself enough to put a big idea out into the world, one that I had had long before my book. I finally loved myself enough, which meant I could love the rest of the world. And I wanted to help the world around me. I wanted to help the world outside of my door. I finally had it in my heart. I finally had enough expansive generosity in there to do that. And the moment that I did that, I sort of abandoned what love for myself looked like. And I think it was this moment of almost shutting down the sacral chakra, because I had moved into this bigger understanding that I'm rooted, I'm secure, I have community, I have people around me, I get to be creative in everything that I'm doing. And because I'm loving and helping others, I shouldn't be in my power state. I shouldn't be in this strong, willing state. I don't need that, because people are loving me now. I don't need to be powerful. I don't need people to notice me. I am helping. I am being generous. I am loving. But I think in order to continue moving up, there had to be a re-engagement of that, and rebalancing that over the last year has been a lot of work. And I think the accident definitely was a moment in time where the universe, all the powers that be, God, everyone kind of came down and said, listen, you have to get back to what was true before you started all of this, and we'll help you. Okay? But you gotta rebalance. You have to find your way back to this power place. You have to find your way back to love the way you were when you started all of this. And we're going to give you time to do that. And we're going to mess up your brain completely, so you have no option but to take this path where you rediscover yourself and you remember what it was like to breathe, to move, to value and hold yourself accountable. And to be extremely grateful for the life that you have been given. And I think continuing to balance and talk through that gratefulness brings me to this new respect for my life and the people around me, to do the things that I say I'm going to do, to put in the work that needs to be done to bring this all to fruition. And that's self-love as it sits today. As always, you're smart, you're strong, you're beautiful. What are you going to do? Change the world.